We'll call meeting to order. Young County Commissioners report at a regular meeting Monday, August the 28th, 2017. It is 9:34 a.m. Make note that this meeting was posted in the manner and for the time required, and that all members of the court are present. If it's convenient for you, please rise. Stand, and I believe it is Commissioner Rogers' opportunity to give our invocation in our places.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we just come before you this morning. We just ask you to be present, guide, direct us, give us wisdom on the issues facing us today. Give us wisdom to better our county, better our communities, and Father, we just ask you to bless those all that are present with us today. Father, we just ask you to watch over those on the coast that's suffered major losses, and we just ask you to be with our fellow commissioners, our fellow county judges, watch over all EMS, emergency management personnel, first responders, sheriffs, all those that are helping out through the disaster down there. I know there's going to be many, many hours and days to repair and on the devastation of the rains, and or it's not over with yet, but watch over those people. Father, we just ask you again to be present with us, work your will in our lives. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, please be seated. Item number 3 is styled as the second public hearing on proposed tax increase as required by truth taxation. Our first public hearing was on the 24th day of August 2017. It was at 9:30 in this courtroom, 516 4th Street, room 106, Graham, Texas, inside county courthouse. Restate that our tax rates were calculated on August the 8th, and they were reported as effective rate .744423, rollback rate of .802445, a debt rate of .083716, a tax rate of .799995 for $100 valuation has been proposed for adoption by the governing body of Young County. This tax rate exceeds the lower of the effective or the rollback rate, and state law requires that 2 public hearings be held by the governing body before adopting the proposed tax rate. A hearing to formally adopt the budget and set the tax rates for maintenance and operations and for debt service has been set for Monday, September the 11th, 2017 at 9:30 a.m. in the Young County courtroom at 516 4th Street, room 106, Graham, Texas. I'll now open the hearing for public comments. That's what this public hearing is in regard to, is for people of the public to make comments as they so choose with regard to the tax rate and the upcoming budget proposal. It's not necessarily an opportunity to make comments from the court or for the court to take any action on. We can't take any action on any comment or any proposal or anything like that, or set any budget or any tax rate at this date, because it has been advertised that date will be September the 11th at 9:30 a.m. where we will consider the adoption formal adoption of the budget and the setting of the tax rates to fund that budget. So, comments from the public?
You have anything you want to say, Greg?
Comfortable with
You care to say anything? Okay. Just we'll make it known that we had a few comments on our first public hearing. Those were primarily geared towards the appraisement of property. The Young County Commissioners Court has no authority to appraise property. We only have authority to establish tax rates against that value. That's where most of the comments here to. Any of the board members wish to make any statements?
I've had a couple of comments made to me about the time in which we're holding these public hearings. Next, if it could possibly be sometime in the evening, early evening, so that people who are working could attend these hearings. Is it by statute that we hold them during this time?
No. On the statute. Traditionally, they've been at the beginning of a regular or called meeting. First order of business taken up, and we can't do anything about that this year because
Right.
they've already been advertised.
We might,
Stated.
we might talk about trying that next year. It'd be interesting to see if we have more attendance in the evening actually than we do here in the mornings. And that's all the comments I've got to make.
We'll say that the court's been working on the budget, and it appears that we will be able to establish a tax rate below that, 7.99995. We can't go any higher than that. That's the highest rate that we can lawfully set because it's previously been advertised at that. But it can be lower, and I suspect it will be some. Okay, once again, if there's no public comments, I'll make the announcement that a hearing to formally adopt the budget and set the tax rates for maintenance and operations for debt service and for, it has been set for Monday, September the 11th, 2017 at 9:30 a.m. in this county courtroom, 516 4th Street, room 106, Graham, Texas. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to close this public hearing.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Commissioner Wiley, second Commissioner Sipes to close the public hearing. All in favor? Carried 5-0. Okay. I've just got through stating the adoption hearing, so I'll count that as done. Item 4, public comments, presentations, and announcements. These are no action items. Any member out there wish to make any announcement or any statement or any comment before the Lord in any matter.
If I may, I'd like to make a public announcement for the Lions Clubs of Graham. We'll be having a Big Top One Ring Circus on October 4th. It will be set up out south of the boys' baseball field, along 380 there in that open field. By permission of the Graham Independent School District, we certainly appreciate that. It will be in the evening, a 5 o'clock and a 7 o'clock performance. That's a Wednesday evening. So I would appreciate, I know not every adult has ever been into a circus tent and watched a circus. I know their children haven't. And this circus is particularly geared towards younger kids. So those tickets will be on sale. We ask you to please be generous in your consideration of buying some of those tickets, or at least buying some and contribute them to children who may not be able to go to that circus. That will be October 4th, 5 and 7 p.m. out at the intersection of Craig and 380. Thank you very much.
I'd like to just kind of let you guys know what we're doing right now. We're taking donations for the flood victims. I've asked the public to bring clothes and non-perishable items to the sheriff's office. We're going to get them on pallets, and Red Cross, and we're trying to work with them and get it to where we can get all this stuff delivered down to South Texas. So if y'all could help me get that word out, I'd sure appreciate it.
Okay. We'll put it out here that you made that announcement, and hopefully our medias will carry that.
Did you contact the radio station?
So far I've talked to Rick Edwards over here. I'm gonna go over and talk to them.
No cash, just items.
Well, I just, clothes and non-perishable items is all I'm asking for.
Stay away from the money.
Yeah, there's plenty of places people send their cash right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like donate cash online.
Oh, yeah, they can get on Red Cross and
Red
do
Cross,
that,
yeah.
and donate
Salvation Army, Red Cross.
Yeah.
the, actually, I think, hang on. That, there's a, I don't know what the 1-800 number is, but number I have for Red Cross is 214-678-4800.
Well, they're catching a good bit of water.
Get a bit of water, yeah.
Anything else? Yeah, no other announcements or presentation or comments, so we'll move to item number 5, is consider county clerk minutes of previous meeting, August 14th and August 24th respectively. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections that need to be made? So moved.
Hang on just 1 second. I did see like on the 24th meeting, I don't know if it's necessary or not, but like Commissioner Sykes was at that conference, he was absent. Does that need to be,
I put it at the top of it.
is it at the top?
And it
I'm
was on the
sorry.
very first minute.
I do see it. Okay.
I'll second.
Wiley and Rogers. Have a motion by Commissioner Wiley and a second by Commissioner Rogers to approve those minutes as presented. All in favor?
I would. Should not do public announcements.
Item number 6, consider treasurer's financial report, updates on security payments.
I have the July accounts all balanced, and it looks kind of funny this time with our initials all over it, but our outside auditor, even though we did it before, we never initialed it. So we asked that Cheryl and I both initial all the balances after the reconcile. But after July and August, we had to move 500,000 out of the money market back into the treasurer's just to meet payroll and some other obligations. I forgot to pull a current cash, but we're still doing well. We're not, Ag Barn, of course, is low, but everything's balanced, and we're still working.
And didn't you say something too about something that we had to start doing with commissioners, payroll or something? Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah, we were talking about that, no. I don't whether there's any necessary, any need to change that. We're meeting, two meetings tonight.
Well, what Ann and I was talking about, if we had to do something like that, then we could do like 2 commissioners do 1 month, 2 commissioners, and the guys do the next. That way you just do a month and
It came up
every
at
3
one
months you'll
auditors
have it.
meeting in Austin, and a lot of them are calling special meetings.
Really?
Yeah.
But I thought you said just 2 could do this. So you
It doesn't
wouldn't
have to be a quorum.
Yeah. So you wouldn't have to call a meeting.
You have to,
Yeah,
you have to call a meeting and post it.
If we're gonna do it that way, yeah.
Hey,
And that's what they said, that their commissioners were just, a lot of them,
That's
were
just
just gonna
crazy.
start meeting more.
Meeting more.
I think that can be accomplished, you know, under a special notice, similar to what sometimes is posted for a meeting where there may be a quorum present at this particular time. That would allow commissioners to come, a quorum of court to come in one day, sign those.
What business is gonna be taking place in that meeting?
Well, the
That'd be
approval of the claim before the auditor.
Approval of the plan of our employees for a paycheck?
Yes.
How is 2 a quorum?
No,
It doesn't have to be a quorum.
That's what I thought. So why would we need to?
Yes, it does have to be.
Some of the same wisdom that comes out of Austin all the time.
The court can act without a quorum. They have to have
At least
3.
Because you do have to post it.
we could rotate the quorum.
It was a hot topic.
I don't,
I think we need to research that.
Are they working to alleviate that problem and make that not happen?
They said they'd have to take it up with the
I don't
legislature.
2 years from now.
know that it's posing any great problem right now. It's kind of in the hands of our auditor and treasurer. If they're not making any complaints about that, they're not getting admonished for it. I don't believe that,
We're making certain everybody gets a paycheck, right?
necessarily need to alter any habits that we're doing currently. And if we do, I think that it can be dealt with in some kind of.
So a paycheck is now defined as a monetary claim against the county?
Manner.
Any claim against the county that commissioners are supposed to.
Yeah,
Sign
it's a-
off on.
Yeah, a paycheck is a claim just like any other.
Oh, I understand. Looked like it would be carved out as an exception of some sort.
I think one auditor said they had designated the county judge to sign off also, because in her words, if I'm going down for it, he is too. So that's just saying.
Agree with that, we can do that.
I go, what?
We authorize them to sign a bunch of stuff we never see. So, I don't know what he's doing to us.
There's two in town most all the time, very often, and plus me makes three, so I'm usually here nearly all the time.
Is it, would just be a form to sign off on? That simple?
Yeah, I know the Shackelford, she just puts the you can't put the net amount, but you put the gross amount of payroll, and that's all.
You can't put the net.
Right. That's private information, and you can't show deductions that come out of people's pay. But it
They
doesn't
want
match
you
the
to sign
gross.
off on it.
Yeah.
It's
Because your gross
amazing,
salary is public knowledge.
it's amazing it's worked this well all these years.
Again, just made,
I think it's
it's
just
working
a
so well, I
squabble.
had to change it.
I'm telling you.
It's a squabble in one county, I think.
Between the treasurer and auditor, and they didn't want to be responsible. totally.
Harris County?
No.
I don't think they ever said
Probably.
what county it
Where it
was.
always starts.
No, because if it's over 170,000, it doesn't apply.
Uh,
So all the bigger counties?
190,
190.
yeah, 190.
Well,
So they're
that's
not
all
worried
big
about the
county
big,
does.
they're not worried about the big paychecks, they're just
Yeah,
worried
well,
about
this is
little.
little small ones.
See, that doesn't make sense, but whatever.
So they weren't listening.
Sometimes our government don't make sense.
Courts
Sometimes.
and delegate their duties to the
That particular
county.
part of the statute, I think that'd probably be a
And this was done by legislation,
It's
not
been-
by
it's been
regulation?
well, long time ago.
Years, years.
But they're just now interpreting it this way.
Yeah, this is our.
A new interpretation.
Legislature is,
Looking for something
the
to do.
officials in there have different opinions than other folks. But I think it's been interpreted like that previously, just no action taken on it, you know.
What made it surface this time?
Fight.
Somebody?
The communications,
Oh,
the news media,
Uh-huh.
and
Treasure.
social
Media,
media, and all those kinds of things.
stirred pot.
I think some counties have a big friction between the auditor and the treasurer's office.
I can understand it.
Let's just get the job done.
Have some boxing gloves and go at it.
It's harder.
Don't forget
No,
big argument with those that carry the purse strings.
exactly right. Signed your check. Okay.
Anyway, I think all that can be dealt with without too great a difficulty.
What was the final consensus in your auditor's meeting? Cheryl?
Besides us that just sat there and listened, a lot of them, like I say, were calling the special meetings and having the, having them come in and sign off and.
Because there's a recurring theme at those meetings that says we got 254 counties and 254 ways of doing things.
Stevens County has payroll every week and they're coming in.
Yeah. I was sitting by Loretta and I'm trying to think what Eastland County was doing.
I can tell you
Kind of
that,
look at each other.
In 1991 and 92, and probably part of 93, the Commissioners Court gathered every Monday morning here and hand canceled every voucher that came through and claimed.
Not just the sheets y'all signed, they went through every
Every one.
voucher. And they still do that in Stevens County. Instead of looking at the sheet that has your vendor on there and, the count and what was paid, they go through that stack of vouchers, they look and sign off on every one of them. And I said, why do you do that? It's right there on the report. They can look at that and it's the way it's always been.
So if you got 150
Sometimes the way it's always
Zach
done
Burkett,
is the best way.
Yes.
Before the elevator was put in, this reconstruction down here on this end, there was a little room right there, the elevator, and there was one of those tables like what's in the clerk's office where they go through all that standing action. And we had a table set up right there like that, and that's every Monday morning. Came in and
streamlined up,
canceled those.
We've got better things to do with our time and I know y'all do.
protecting citizenry from them.
And we also just paid once a month.
Okay.
Yep,
Drop that up.
I did. Well, I just want to be sure because Ann and I was talking about it the other day.
I make a motion, we accept the financial report.
We have a motion by Commissioner Wiley, a second by Commissioner Rogers, to approve financial report as presented. All in favor? Carried 5. Item number 7, consider auditor's budget amendments and voucher payable.
I have vouchers, and then we'll talk about some amendments. Vouchers today total is $114,070.72. And out of the general is $81,367.16.
So much. Bill vouchers.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Commissioner Wiley, second by Commissioner Sykes to approve the vouchers payable as presented on paper.
I know we talked about getting the payoff on the DA vehicle and the comp sync lease, and I got those through this month. We were gonna move money out of contingency that we had left over and pay those so we wouldn't have a payment next year. Total for both is $24,010.60 to pay those.
Perfect savings from what it was.
Yeah. The comp sync was $12,941.84, and the DA vehicle was $11,068.76.
That's worth it.
What were the payments in?
Does you need these or is Kane okay?
The cop sync was like
How will that improve our cash flow?
12,000 something on the cop sync,
Yeah, because we had another payment on the DA vehicle, and,
plus the balloon payment.
yeah, plus the balloon, and then because that's why I put
So
$12,000
this takes a lot of
in there.
strain off our
It's gonna
budget.
take 12,000 out of the budget, and then another nearly 13,000 for that.
And then you paid off Mike and I stuff that we were wanting to, didn't we?
On the zipper.
Zipper pay for?
I got the payoff on the zipper also. That'd be precinct 1, 2, and 4. Total is $46,696.67, which is about $15,566 apiece. So I would do those as a budget amendment next time if y'all want to go ahead and pay those.
You best.
So on the amendments.
Okay, we've got a motion here
Second that.
by Wiley. Second by Sykes. That's gonna be for vehicle and equipment payoff. As recorded. All in favor? Okay. Third two. Okay, item number 8, consider employee bonds. Maria Gonzalez, county attorney, $5,000 bond. Shirley and Ashley, county auditor, $5,000. Teresa Grimes, community supervision corrections department, $5,000. And Alicia Langford, county community supervision correction officer, $5,000.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Pruitt, second by Commissioner Wiley to approve bonds payable as presented. All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye vote.
Since we get it.
It's 10 o'clock. It'll be 10:30.
We got a 10:30 and 11. Go back and forth.
Yeah, we can, y'all want to come up, you and Robert? Does Robert want to come up here?
I believe it's just me, but I'll check with you.
Okay. We can move to 14.
Be right back, Jimmy.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Oliver. We got it correct. I think that Ms. Red, salary deal right here.
Okay.
think that figure should be,
You said we paid not too much money?
yeah, I think so.
Okay. Business officer salary.
Okay, that figure's gonna need to be, I think the figure's $1,200 and something. $76 or $86. I don't want to put that down, I thought that was the only thing on here on this.
What was the salary there, 42,266? Okay.
I think all that was maybe figured on the salary or not.
Oh, did I do it on everything?
Well, I don't know, I couldn't figure out just what it was. It turned out to be about 38%. I like everybody to go for that.
No. I know, I may have put your something in there. Okay, I will fix that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we ever figured there's some there yet. I have to go back and look at that in here.
Okay. Item number 14, budget workshop. Any matter pertaining to the budget, and I've got here that JP1 wants to revisit that a little bit.
Well, there's one thing that we had requested that we didn't get, and I just wanted to make a statement that normally, I say normally, I don't know what y'all's procedure is, but I would think that under certain conditions, when you go above and beyond, you should get some type of merit raise for that. And I know that we requested earlier that Miss Dickey get a merit raise for becoming a master clerk. And we just wanted to come up and revisit that and see if maybe she can present her evidence to you and maybe y'all can reconsider that.
Yeah, well, I understand that, Robert, but I think that hasn't been a policy of the court on those issues, and I don't recall necessarily just for somebody advancing just a little bit in their education or their certification or something, that unless it produced a change in position, like moving from a deputy to chief deputy, or moving from one position to the other, to a different pay scale.
So this is in every department, y'all do not give merit raises for,
I disagree.
Well, there's
gentlemen.
a bunch of master peace officers out there, and they don't get nothing extra.
No, gentlemen, I disagree, because 2 years ago, your county court administrator received a raise simply because she was taking charge of the docket. I handle our docket. Our district attorney requested an increase for one of her employees because she had more education. She got the raise. So what's the difference between them and me?
Well, it wasn't based on any certificate, completion or anything like that.
Well, okay, so she didn't have a certificate, I did. So what I'm saying is, that court, it would be hard to run that court without me, because I know that court. I know the software. I have already rescued that court from a very bad situation. That was not my fault. So I think I've earned this. And
Okay.
Judge Dial did not ask for much,
We'll consider your argument.
okay? I think it's only fair if one level of the county system gets a raise simply because they do additional duties. I already do those duties. So I think I should be rewarded for that.
Understand
That's
what
what I'm
I'm saying?
saying.
I have discussed merit raises with this court over the past 2 or 3 years. I'm a great believer in merit raises as ways to improve your employee levels of performance. As of yet, this court has decided to do something like that because it would precipitate each head of each department sitting down with each one of their employees and telling them their strengths as well as their weaknesses and why they weren't getting as much of a raise as the other. The argument against that is it's going to create jealousies in the department. Why did you give them a raise and didn't give me a raise? Well, you're not doing as well. You don't like me, or you don't do this, or you're mad because I came in late, or you're mad because I left earlier. And those are the things, it'd be, have to be a very set system, a lot of regulation, a lot of administration that we'd have to do. But I understand what you're saying, these across-the-board raises, we're giving
They're
the
not.
raise to the worst employee, and we're giving the raise to the best employee, and they're equal in raises.
And there's employees in this courthouse system that have been here a lot less time than I have, that are making more than I am. That is not right, gentlemen. That is not right. They don't have the experience, but they're making more. So tell me, how is that fair?
Well, we're hiring employees into this county also that hire in as zero experience with the county at the salary that the 15, 20-year person had when they left.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, I don't agree with that either, but the policy as of this moment is not such in place that we can do that. We do need to consider it,
Okay, well,
okay? So we will consider that. There's obviously some things maybe that need to be changed, and as a court,
yes, sir.
you know, this is all done by 5 members of this court,
Yes, sir.
and we all need to get on the same page.
Yes,
And that
sir.
means discussion and characterizing the problem in specifics like you're doing.
Well, I mean, you brought up the fact that it would bring up jealousy. Well, that is already in place in this.
I know.
Because there are people like me that have been here a long time, and we see these other people, and so, you know, we're going, hey, this is not right.
We're
Why
not
should I
saying, we're
work?
not saying it's fair, it's just how it is.
Just the way it
I
is.
understand.
And I agree with you, I think you should, for certificates, you should get a special pay grade.
Right.
You know,
Well,
even if it's $25 a month, at least show you something that I accomplished something,
Well, gentlemen, the other fact is,
because it's not fair.
since we're a justice court, we don't have different departments to handle our cases.
Right.
Me and Diana, we handle everything. We handle the docket, we handle I'm the office manager, we handle everything in that court. So, you know, we're doing multiple jobs.
You're preaching to the choir, I
Right.
agree with you.
You know, there's some people in this county that get a raise every year, whether the general employment population get one or not,
I understand.
you know? And that's the way that system is set up to be.
But part of my point is we're not asking for that much.
Okay,
Surely we
we'll put that
could,
under consideration.
okay, could you make it clear?
Well, the thing about it is, even if it doesn't work out, y'all really need to consider
Making it policy.
these, I mean, because just like Joanne, I wasn't here when she first started this. It took her probably 4 years, was it 4 years of studying and testing and
Actually,
everything
it's two.
to get this certificate, and she wasn't required to do it. I know it's not a requirement, but she
There's two.
felt like that's something that she wanted to accomplish that would make her a better employee.
There's
And
actually
so
two
there-
certificates, and I have them both.
What's the request?
$500.
How much?
$500.
500.
That was a one-time, or was it an increase in your salary
No, it's just per year.
per year? Increase in
Ask for it as a stipend, but it wouldn't be a stipend.
It's not a stipend. That's the only word I could think of. That's my fault, okay?
It's an old school word, isn't it?
Yeah, and I understand, we understand the situation y'all are under with the tax and all, and the fact that the oil business is not good, but, you know, you need to not just consider hers, but, I mean, we need to consider hers this time because we made the request. But there should be some kind of, at least investigating into maybe changing the policy to allow for merit, or raises for that kind of.
This is the first time a serious discussion has happened in front of this table as long as I've been here, and we need to continue to talk about it.
I've always thought we should have certificate raises for y'all, for the sheriff's office, for the county clerk's office. Just-
All we
I mean,
need is money.
when they work hard enough to get a certificate and go to these schools to get them, I think they should be rewarded with them. I
Well, we're
agree with
also
that.
raising our fines, so that's bringing in a nice chunk of money. We're raising, they'll increase our income by 10% is what we figured, and that's not considering all of our fines. So there will be additional money coming in.
Yeah, and that's getting us up to snuff. We've been way below other counties because we did a little survey on this, and.
We're all below our.
We are.
Yes,
We
yeah, we are all, yeah.
Yeah,
You know, and seriously, if y'all's fines and everything are lower, you need to get up to snuff with counties. Now, what we compared ourselves to were not larger counties. We compared ourselves to counties of our size. And we're still below what everybody else is charging.
Well, we are too.
Like on fines, that's what you're
Yes.
saying?
Yeah, and on some of
Certainly, I
them,
did
quite a bit, we are below. And so Judge Mailer and I, after, it wasn't just two judges, it was both
Right.
offices that got together.
Okay, if we do that for one, then that's gonna bring another and another and another. We're gonna have to budget for those, and we're gonna have to budget for certificate increases and things like that. We took that policy, we haven't done that yet, the court hadn't chosen
And
to
then
do
set up
that.
policies and procedures for all that.
Right, that's what I'm saying, y'all need to at least consider those,
I agree.
those policy, some policy
Well,
changes on this.
You know where that's gonna come from? Right out of the taxpayer's
Taxpayer's
pocket.
pocket.
I'm a taxpayer.
I
I
ain't.
know, but you ask the general population out there, would you like to raise your taxes by a penny, penny and a half to give all your county employees merit raises?
If it gave us better government, yes, sir.
Who says that's gonna give us better government?
If you've got an employee that is feeling like they're not treated well, well, they're gonna come here to
I'm
get
just
the
telling you what the
training.
perception of the public who pays those
Yeah.
taxes are.
That's not the perception I've heard.
But
I mean,
sitting at this court, this is the lightning rod for all those kind of,
I
Well, most people
understand.
don't want to pay, I mean, a tax rate raise, so.
Who doesn't? Yeah, I mean,
many of them think that some of these county employees are paid too much, and there's times when I agree with them.
Yeah, but who do they come to for help? They come to me. When they need help with that ticket, okay, I've got this ticket, I can't get it off my record. They come to me.
They come to us.
Well, how much of that is job description that you're supposed to be doing, and how much is it going beyond? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you, for instance, we had I mean, this is not a big deal, but it is when you look at the whole scope of it. We had an officer come in Friday
Right.
at 4:15 and want warrants. We could have easily told him, hey, you're gonna have to wait till Monday. But we didn't. We stayed there, we processed those warrants because we needed to. Not because we had to, we needed to do it because of the.
That's quality
the case.
county representation.
Well, in the case and everything else. So there's a lot of times that I know I get paid for 24 hours. They don't. And sometimes both of them stay afterwards to assist in anything we need to do. It's not every day, but it is. Some days they stay and it may not be 15 minutes, it may be 30 minutes or something like that, but they do that. So they, to me, to help me out, I really appreciate it. They do go above and beyond.
There's obviously people who do the minimum of their job description, I mean the bare minimum. And then there's those who fill in the blanks and take, increase customer service.
Right.
All elected officials are elected actually to serve the public with customer service and keep fairness, so.
Yeah.
But then why should I have to pay for the person that does nothing? That's what you're telling me, is that I'm gonna have to pay for their,
Yes,
They're
ma'am. And what the way the system is right now, the worst employee gets the same raise as the best employee.
I think we need to work on changing the system then, Gentlemen.
I'll tell you, it's extremely difficult to do.
Yes, it is. We understand that.
It all starts with one.
Because
Private sector does it all the time.
the court here sets the pay and compensation. The office holder is the one that's gonna be doing the evaluations.
Understand?
Those aren't gonna be objective.
Maybe we should have a little bit of that. You know,
You know, that's, my employee, that's one that's in the courthouse. I expect that every other department, the official probably has the same concept of their employee that I do. So,
Yeah, I wouldn't trade for the ones I have. They save me on a daily basis. I mean, you know.
I'd trade for yours too.
I love my job.
So anyway, we just asked you to consider this.
we'll give it consideration.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Also, general note on the court order from the district judge, he went the 3% that the court is proposing in their budget.
now in our budget, did you give yourself a 3% already? Or do we need to add that in?
Should get 6.
Huh?
Who, me?
Yeah.
3%.
Okay, so then the budget's just fine right now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Except I tried to give the judge $2,000 more.
Pay him off.
Okay, with our 3% we give, what did that increase per employee? Over 1,000?
In some cases it was like 900 something. Depends on the
It
salary.
was either 1,000 or close to it, with our 3%.
And then some got a lot more.
900 and something, I think
Yeah.
that's what it was, 980 or
25 for
990.
that.
Joanne's wage is about what everybody else's is.
Yeah.
Departments, your department's
I do understand what they're saying. But if you get a certificate that you've achieved this, and then you're working with somebody that hasn't done nothing, and you're making, I mean, you're doing
But
something.
what if you have a
more.
person that can't take a test, but is the best employee in the whole entire world?
Well, then that's their own problem.
Well, that's where the subjective evaluation of the department is.
And I don't know where you have to take a test at. Most of them, you just go to a school when you just
I'm
go to the
just
school.
saying.
You stay awake, go to the school.
And then you stay awake, go to the school.
You know, most of our guys are experienced heavy equipment operators, and they're working for ridiculous wages for that kind of work. You know.
Yeah,
They could probably make more money somewhere else, but not,
Yeah.
you know.
But it's not fair for ours because ours don't have certificates.
Life isn't,
I understand that too.
Full contacted.
life isn't fair.
Life is not fair.
I don't like your attitude. You're a pissy.
Quite a quandary.
Yes.
Just open
Right.
this up to some lawsuits.
Well, no, it's almost.
Well,
Take a break and come back. and
We
take
can
it.
also, we can consider number 11 there, consider.
Number 11.
corrections.
We haven't had enough rain. No action.
No action on that.
I wrote that on there before we even get to action.
okay, we'll obviously come back to the budget workshop. Our next item's scheduled for 10:30, and that'll give us about,
10 minutes.
yeah, that gives us about 8 minutes for recess.
Show yourself. Thank you, sir.
We'll be in recess for about 10 minutes.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Amen.
Cheryl, Will.
Yes.
Thank you, we start
You gonna talk about it all around it?
Evaluation board.
Y'all did this at.
You're on camera.
Okay.
Paving out of Weatherford. Yeah. They need to call you also.
Right now.
Because he started asking me questions, I said, I know numbers, not basketball. Or whether chip seal.
Isn't making it easier on anyone else, is it?
Sometimes people's best days are.
Okay, let's go back to order. It's 10:32. Our item number 9 is to discuss, consider, and open chip seal bids. Stacy Rogers, Commissioner Precinct 3.
This actually should be myself and Commissioner Rogers.
Yes, it's precinct 2 and precinct 3.
2 and 3.
Profit road.
I received one bid.
Chip seal.
Yeah, 2 to 3 years.
It hasn't been done. And when's the last time it's been chip sealed?
When he was commissioner.
And they put in 2 separate envelopes from North American Paving out of Weatherford,
I
Texas.
did it in 10, I don't know, have you done it?
Got cracks in that one spot bad.
It's something in chip seal.
I'll let you read that. Commissioner Rogers, that's the one for precinct 3. See if I choke on this one.
Yeah, we didn't specify by the yard, or the yard.
This one's also North American.
Yes, and he's got yours
It does have room.
in 2 different, because we had the 2 different.
Right. I said 1 course and 2 course.
51,000.
get copy of it.
I don't know after looking
We're
at
not
them.
doing the road.
They too heavy.
They're a little heavy, they're a little heavy.
We have 2.3 miles for 83.9, and then
What?
two course, 2.3 miles for 150.
His was 151.
235 is square yard. 235 is square yard.
TxDOT must be using a lot of that material.
Yeah. Does that mean they're furnishing the material or y'all furnishing the
More
material?
finish.
I think y'all had it as, yeah, y'all would.
I have,
So you're-
I hauled, and they just put it down.
So you're looking at probably another 30,000, 25?
Oh, yeah.
The rock.
No, that's not even a consideration. That.
Ooh,
Why didn't Clipper do anything?
They're busy.
too busy.
Do you want to call Radon and let's see what they'll do?
I sent it to Radon.
They sent it to Radon.
Yeah, you asked for bids.
I mailed it out.
Solicit prices.
Vernon should have got a letter too.
Zach?
Freeman.
Yeah, Freeman, however, they didn't want to bundle it.
No,
This got two.
I'm just trying to name off different people that have it.
Commissioner in Wichita County told me he got Freeman to do a mile of road reclamation for $4,000.
What?
So they milled it up for $4,000.
Yeah. I'm a little leery of that number.
I was thinking being more
It
like
costs more to move that equipment than that.
14,000 maybe.
Yeah, 24.
More, 24, you know.
I got a bid up hanging on my bulletin board that Stacy got from Lipham 2 years ago on C-Turds, 1.4 miles for $171,000.
Yeah.
Full depth reclamation.
4,000? Yeah, we need to get hold of that.
Yeah, we got 40 miles for you to do over here,
Yeah,
bud.
come on down.
He must have had him a brain lapse or something because that ain't true.
Wow.
This is Lee Harvey, he's working on that jail place.
There you go, Lee. There you go.
I'll go make y'all copies of all of these and Stacy's
No,
too.
he's a Graham boy.
Wow. He is a grandma boy. He talks about it all the time. I used to work out in the old gym underneath the bleachers.
So you wouldn't have gotten by with it.
I tell him, you don't work out no more, do you, fat boy?
Okay, I'm gonna make copies
Big
real
old,
quick.
big old commissioners.
They don't.
Offensive line. Jeff and Barry.
Barry's a pretty big boy. Yeah, oh, you said Barry. Yeah.
He's been drinking that Pruitt water, that's really.
That's why, I know gotta get me some Pruitt water. Cause he can lift that pickup up.
I saw that.
Why you shaking your head?
Where they were selling.
You seen those commercials?
Mineral Wells.
Oh, that smart water or whatever it's called, waggy water.
Crazy water.
Crazy water.
Crazy water, yeah.
Crazy water.
Don't look at the contents of it.
I used, it's not like it used to be. I used to drink that stuff all the time when I was a kid.
It's full of silica.
Tastes like
Dirt
dirt.
dead.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's not good for your kidneys.
Yeah. It makes you want to pee something else.
That's right, fiberglass.
They used to sell that in one of those old timey 1 gallon glass jugs.
Glass
My
jug.
grandparents bought it all the time. I mean, they lived by it.
Huh.
And actually, I developed a pretty good taste for it. I liked it pretty good.
I had a couple of bottles of it this weekend.
That doesn't taste like I remember it.
Different grades of it, too.
Stacy,
Is there?
are you with me, John?
One through five.
Yeah.
Do that, and they may go up
It is.
higher than that.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know what we're gonna
And
do.
it's expensive.
We did this last deal,
Unless we figure
23,000
out-
a mile, didn't we? Something about that?
Unless we figure out some way to start doing it
It's
ourselves.
applied material.
You want a copy?
Do you
It's
agree?
going up full
Unless we figure out some
third.
way to start doing it ourselves.
Forward. Well, you guys want to do it ourselves, I'll get together and do it.
235. 279. 498.
What do they charge us a lot now? 18 or 28? $28 a ton, right, for the coating?
decisions I made is not to use Cody Rock on Rocky Mountain.
And that's usually climbing the rock.
Yes.
Judge's eyebrows went up about half.
Well, Stacy, if you're with me, I make a motion that we decline this bid.
Yeah, that's fine.
Keep shopping,
Huh?
you know?
Okay, now, got bid from North American Paving Incorporated, Woodland, Texas. The only bids that were received.
Try again.
They were for Young County Furnace and Rock, looks like. And them sweeping, laying, shooting and laying. And, rolling, $2.35 a square yard. One job, $2.79 square yard on one job, and then a two-course job at $4.98.
498. Okay.
We're getting down to that time of year that it's starting to cool off too.
If they get a job this much, they do it. If not,
The are on the bidder and 3 bids. Okay, make those as exhibits. Okay, put it. Have a motion to approve, who's got that? I'll say. Roger. To reject bids, is that what we're gonna reject them? Yeah. Okay. Reject bids. Okay, do you want to rebid that, or what they cost to put that in?
Ain't got the bill yet.
What's
You
that
know, I
cost?
put the basic in the paper and then we mailed out the stack.
You got them, okay.
So,
Let's rebid it again.
That's fine.
for 2 more weeks.
You wanna go too? Yeah, we're getting closer.
You have to do 2.
Whatever the requirement
Okay, that's all in favor of rejecting the bid?
is.
Vote, and you gotta, you wanna re-advertise?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 2 weeks, Rogers. Rubin.
I would.
Re-advertise. Okay. You want to open on the
Well-
11th?
We'll do it to 11, that go meet your requirements.
Yes, I was gonna say that even packs the requirements, so let me find, and you want us to resend this out to the companies we send?
Yeah, that'd be,
Okay, so have it in my office by 4 o'clock on September 8th, and open in Commissioners Court September 11th at 10:30.
I'd say.
And you sent to this company in Vernon too, you said?
Which one?
Freeman?
Freeman?
I think so, I'll ask Marcia.
Yeah,
She-
check on that one because
Okay,
they're that cheap, you might wanna.
okay, they need to be in September the 8th, 4 p.m.
yes,
Open 10 a.m.
okay.
Let's see, we'll have our auction hearing that day.
We'll do it first thing though.
Excuse me,
We'll do it at 9:30, first thing.
hearing? Yeah. That's what I was.
Is that gonna be plenty of time to get to
Well, it should be.
this? Okay.
Should.
I mean, I don't know. You never really know about those things, but let's do it at 10 a.m. See what we
Okay.
say. 10 a.m. open and consider. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Carried 5-0. Alright. Ain't got another. I didn't get that schedule just exactly right, did I? Is there any consideration on burn ban, burn restriction?
Yeah, we done that, right? Already done that. They judged him.
It's raining in South Texas.
Rained a lot. Rained for what, 2 days?
It said over 100 hours in Houston supposed to be raining.
Another 100 hours?
Well, that is about Saturday
Oh, it's
afternoon.
been raining for 100 hours?
It will, they said that's
Continue.
continued rain for 100 hours.
They still don't know how it's gonna react when it gets over the Gulf.
It's backing back out in the water again.
Regenerate itself, come
And
back
it's
over.
going, and the outer band's coming right over Houston.
Yes.
Galveston, Houston.
That's just dumping the Gulf of Mexico on, I would say dry land, but not dry
It's
land.
dry land now.
I guess the last report I had, they had 24 inches, I believe, and they expected that much more.
I think the record held out of one hurricane is in Hawaii for 54 inches to be dry.
This one may break that record.
This may break the record.
Okay.
He should have kept the kids, he could have stayed.
Appreciate the update you were giving us on the weather too.
Why don't you tell us what happened in Austin?
In Austin, we had some clever conversations
Y'all
about
would have
some really
gone
smart
to
people. Paul Suggs' representation with his staff was a very good one, and kind of gave us some insight as to how the TAC lobbying efforts were handled by the legislators. It really seems we've got a real division in attitude between the House of Representatives and the Senate.
Absolutely, yeah.
Much of what was passed in the House was sent to the Senate, and it never got a vote, never got a discussion. Just stick off the end of the table. He said one, and I forget exactly which one it was, I just remember the reaction to it by Lieutenant Governor Patrick was that, we're gonna send this one over to you. He said, fine, send it to me, we're not gonna hear it.
Well, it was touted that if they did not support his,
What was it? It was SB1 versus the school finance issue, I think.
if they didn't support the legislation filed with Bettencourt, specifically SB1 and SB4, I think, maybe 42, that they would not get any legislation heard in the Senate. So that's, I mean, there was lots of strong arming.
The meeting that Jim Allison gave over the unfunded mandate survey was one of the more promising meetings we had. Once again, only 94 out of 254 counties participated in that to some degree. That was, they'd answered at least one question on the survey. What was that, a 4-page survey? Something like that? Front and back?
Unfunded mandate?
Yeah.
No, it was about 12. It was a big,
Well-
long survey.
And many counties have different accounting methods, so it's harder to draw all those numbers out of. Sometimes you can't get them out at all.
I want to think like there's 40, 50 questions on
Well, all I can tell you is that they're committed to continuing to do this, so I guess that as we answer more of those surveys, the better we'll get doing it, the quicker we'll get getting those numbers. But it provided definition of the unfunded mandates that we've been talking about to the legislature, but heretofore, we didn't have any kind of numbers to back up our claims, so they were all good. And many of them had to do with the jail and the sheriff's office and those kind of things, especially the mental health issues and the indigent health. Of course, there was a lot of interest in the indigent defense mandates.
I imagine our 2015 blew them out of the water.
It probably helps with the numbers. Then we had an economist talk to us about how the state budget from this year is going to affect our county budgets. And once again, you all need a report to tell you that the state's continuing to push more of their bills down to us to pay. And, but that the state still has bills that are left to be paid, and they kind of pushed them off to the next session. I think they've gotten big because they were pushed off from another session to this one. They're kind of kicking the can down the road and don't want to up it. One of the big contentions that the counties and the other taxing entities in the state are having is that the state is setting on $11 billion worth of rainy day fund. And we've got all these things that we need to dispose of, get out of our way, so that we can more properly finance schools, more properly finance our mental health issues. They just continue to sit on that money. The House, once again, wanted to let go of 1.5 billion of it. Senate, I think they moved that down to 250 million or something like that. And then either neither one of them passed, so. Well, anyway, he didn't spell, it's probably any better instead of Texas. Over the next few years as far as taxes are concerned.
You know, I don't understand that whenever you allow one or two bills that you consider to be more important than everything else that's in the mix as a whole, to judge whether or not you're gonna vote or hear anything that needs to be heard, that's not right, because each thing is just as important as the other things are.
The problem here, we've got the dog, we've got the urban tail wagging the rural dog,
Yeah.
and the Harris County basically is running the legislature right now.
They got the most votes.
Bencourt and that bunch down there
Yes.
is pretty much getting everything that they want in there. And the problem with tax reform, property tax reform, they put that reform like it's gonna make things better for you. That is just the way it, it's putting lipstick on a pig. And, it wasn't gonna improve the taxes for anybody. Some of those communities down there are growing 10, 12% per year.
Yeah. Which
So capping their tax at 4% increase,
don't make
they
it-
still get more money every year than they had the year before.
That's right.
And I don't know about y'all, but if we can limit the amount we tax anyway, without being told to. If we could, the state would stop sending us their bills. We didn't have to pay for law and order and jails and county clerk to do her job, and, roads didn't need fixing, and,
I talked to a person at Helen Fairview, and, there's a lot of stuff going on in there. They're letting a lot of staffing go. And at the same time, they're increasing the load with what staff they do have left. And they're wearing them completely out, is what they're doing.
Here's a situation where they say, well, we're going to increase the salaries of people, but we're going to let half of them go. So the ones that are left there are getting a little bit of increase, and they don't have many people to help.
There's no difference in you go into a department store and they say they're gonna have a half price sale, but they increase it 0.5% before they put it in there.
Take down the regular price.
It's back to regular price again.
So, I don't know, there's nothing good to look forward to so far as the cost of government is concerned. What's that old Texas saying, if you go to the dance, you gotta pay the fiddler? I don't know if we've got too big a dance going or we got the wrong band, but right now, considering the fact that we've got the wrong band, there's a lot of talk about through the ballot box recalling some of these politicians.
Well,
I talked to Paul Sugg about our representative Drew Springer. He said, I like Drew, but we call him Mr. Bracket down here. He brackets the rural counties and his particular counties out of everything. I said, well, that's good for us. He says, yeah, but it's not good for everybody in the long term, because you end up passing legislation that's not good legislation just because it answers that particular segment of the population right then. Because once you let the monster out of the box, he can always turn around and come back and eat them again. And so you get that problem. But all in all, he was pretty happy with what our representative had done. Now, our senator is a different conversation. The entire Senate's a different conversation.
each one of those representatives and senators needs to be for their people that they're representing.
I understand. But
And they
sometimes
should-
we all need to band together and do what's best for everybody and not just specific people.
And they shouldn't be trying to advance
certain bill or a certain item just because they want to be on a certain committee.
And that's the problem too, because down there you've got to sell yourself the devil sometimes, get on a committee so you can help your people. And, you know, you vote for this.
That's what Gary Springer's done. He's
Huh?
electing Joe Strauss.
Yeah. We had a long conversation about Joe Strauss.
That's part of the problem.
Joe's like Godfather.
Yeah, but he's an elected official just like Joe Springer is.
Where's his district? San Antonio?
He's a Republican out of San Antonio.
I know, you can have, like I say, you put lipstick on a pig, doesn't make it pretty. I'm just satisfied with a lot of Republicans.
You know, some say that position needs to be statewide elected. Instead of good old boy elected.
Well, I think the problem with the country is that you've got these far-right Republican conservatives, and you've got these moderates. The further left the Democratic Party goes, the further right those moderates look. They're still sitting in the same place, just that the other parties moved away from them. You know, so we've got a meeting this afternoon with Jody Arrington with the Chamber office to talk about tax reform,
Parties in town.
income tax reform.
I haven't seen Jody since last year.
So he got his pretty face in Washington. Anyway, we'll go visit about that. Conference was a very good conference to go to,
It is a good one.
especially this year. There's so many things affecting the county government.
They talk anything about what's going on in the country with violence?
Violence, well, of course, that's part of the drug problem.
No, with what's going on.
Oh, with the racial violence?
Yeah.
No, not too much.
But,
Most of us have been able to keep a lid on that kind of thing in our small communities because still our small communities out here in West Texas tend to be more homogeneous.
I think Wichita Falls is fixing to go through. What I heard on the news this morning, somebody's starting to stir the pot.
Well, there's been some racial tension in Wichita Falls the last 15, 20 years.
Pretty close to home.
It is. Seems like the population gets to 100,000, it really starts to bubble. But right now, the grassroots bottom rung of the ladder here in local control is in jeopardy from the folks in the ivory towers.
Hope everything all worked out.
The world is-
Not any more than it was when you walked out.
We are solved and ready to go.
We kicked the can down the road.
Kick your hand on it.
We ready to close the Apache?
Ready?
Done just about it.
Is everybody happy down there? Judy?
Everybody's happy. Got all the signatures and everybody says,
Thumbs up.
Leave us alone.
You're good to go then.
They gonna argue about where the fence posts go?
no.
That's their own problem once you close it, isn't it?
That's right.
There's only one thing I've got to do there that I said I'd do before I leave there, and there's a pile of brush right there in the one spot, I'm gonna pick it up. All off, so
All you gotta do,
I got that.
it's a good thing. He'd be happy to.
We're gonna have any parties show up?
Huh?
We're gonna have any parties show up?
Somebody said they wanted to.
Are these all, those four, all people that live on that road?
Well, they don't live, nobody lives on it.
But I own property on
They
that
own
road.
property. One guy owns everything on the east side, one landowner owns everything on the east side, then there's three on the west side.
These are the only 4 people that don't even talk to you along
And we need to show that road.
that, for that section of it.
Yes, sir.
Only one.
1.42 miles.
Yes, sir.
Is that what's on your report, 1.42?
It's in between Scobie and True.
And Scobie and True? There ain't anything between Scobie and True. Really what we did, yeah.
There's another Rogers Road just a little ways down the road,
You still have that?
so.
Well, it is 11 o'clock, so it's time we can move to item number 10. This is a public hearing. We'll open the public hearing with an application to close A County Road, mainly being McClatchy Road, 1.42 mile stretch that connects True Road with True Road, Scobie Road, True Road and Scobie Road. That's in precinct number 4. I guess getting pretty close to the precinct line.
Rogers Road, precinct line, True goes all the way down to.
Okay. This is a notice of intent to apply for closure of a county road. We acknowledged this, I think, about 2 weeks ago or so, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Pursuant to Chapter 251 Texas Transportation Code, the parties identified below, each being the property owner of the land situated in Precinct 4, Young County, Texas, hereby provide notice of their intent to petition the Commissioners Court of Young County, Texas for the closure of an existing public road, specifically Young County Road, McClatchy Road, traversing north and south for approximately 1.42 miles, beginning at a point described as Scobie Road, this particular coordinate, to terminate at True Road at the other particular coordinate. The parties identified below will make application for closure of identified public road by filing a petition with Young County Commissioners Court on the 28th day of August 2017 at a regular meeting of said court scheduled for that date. Persons requiring further information should contact Young County Judge Sean C. Bullock at his office in Young County Courthouse. I have not been contacted by any party or any interested person.
We have done what is required to post a road, the same posting at each end of the road and here at the courthouse also.
And those postings have been up for something more than 20 days.
More than 20 days.
I think the statute requires 20-day posting, or it recommends, maybe our advisory has recommended 20-day posting. That's all been accomplished. It's, there is a slim possibility that, depending on what the circumstances are, that could devalue that property a little bit.
Suppose that road is obtained by the county by prescription? Forever?
There's no, I guess it's probably on the section line, survey line.
Survey line.
On survey line. The statute requires that, I guess quit claim deed probably be, issued.
You handle that?
Center line roadway will go each way to the parties that own property on either side of that road.
So the property lines will now extend to the center of the,
Now, that's gonna be on there. that'll be on their expense,
Yeah.
their ticket, if you will.
What I understand, they're just gonna build a road, I mean, each end of it.
It's
Long
not,
lane.
That road has not been, it don't have any rock on it, it's just a sandy road that's been rode up. And more of a trail back through there that's buried. The only people drive it or might be somebody that's doing road hunting or the landowners themselves. So,
I don't think that there'll be any requirement of, the county or precinct to fence it off or do anything. Just post a notice to each end of it that, this is no longer county maintained.
So there's no deed or title work to be done to this.
Well, not on our
not
part.
on our part.
That'll be the obligation of the property owners at their expense to file the necessary deeds and paperwork, and have it necessarily recorded in their deed records. And no report that. But it'll be at their expense.
Meets and bounds will be determined by them at their cost.
If it's like it was originally, imagine it already on their deed, it already shows. Just like
Sure,
it
sure,
shows
like
like
you
on the
do.
county road, it already shows that their property goes to the center line of that. So, it's already there, nice.
And no other landowners. So there is ample ingress and egress to the property other than this road.
Yes. The one property still has 2 road frontages. The other ones have 2 road frontages plus 3, Captain Rogers Road.
Okay, the road's been posted, it was posted on the first day of August,
Yes, sir.
2017, and this is 28th, so it's been amply posted at the location and here at the courthouse.
Yes, sir.
And that's been accomplished.
I think all we had to do is file this order with the deed records, I believe, that's all we had to do. And what it says is filed.
No easements on property.
Then on the easement, it's gonna be a,
I'm all for it.
there's a highline right away that runs through there, and diagonally, just crossing it. There's already 2 gates there. It's been good.
Cows always walk, you know what cows do to a muddy road.
You just need to make a motion to accept this petition for closure.
Well, is there any court member that would be opposed to it? It takes a unanimous vote of the court to do such. In the package, I don't,
So it doesn't have to be validated by a vote of the court?
Yes,
excuse me?
Does it have to be validated by a vote of the court?
yes.
Yes, that's true.
Make a motion, we go ahead and go with the order of closing Clancy Road, as described in there.
Okay, that's gonna be to, think that it'll wind up in an order that will be abandoned, discontinued, vacate.
I would say abandoned. In that effect, that this is to close the road to the public use and the road may continue to exist to private users. So,
I'll second that.
Mr. Wiley. To abandon. County McClatchy Road. Young County Precinct 2. Y'all in favor of that motion?
Precinct 4.
Precinct 4.
To them, I think.
Mr. Rogers?
Being we have signatures from representatives of all landowners involved, and no one's here to object to this motion, I'll vote for it.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I feel about the same way. I hate to close those things, but I had one closed on Mill in Frontmore County that won't affect me time.
That's the only way this is. My statement.
Okay, I'm gonna concur with the court. That's 5-0. So, we will declare that road abandoned and vacated. Note that it will be the responsibility of the parties applying for that to cure those titles and issue any quitclaim deeds or warranty deeds that may be applicable in circumstances.
and my understanding is they're not gonna move no fences, they're gonna leave them like they are, so. It is what it is.
One thing's gonna change about closing the ends of it, huh?
Close the ends of it.
We'll get the proper order out. We've got one in the packet here. I'm not sure that it meets everything I think it needs to meet, so we'll inspect that and get the proper order. And get everybody's signature on it.
No.
Okay, our next item, let's see. Next item is a closed session pursuant to 551.074A1, personnel matters, local government code. We're going to receive applications that we've requested for the appointment or possible appointment of Constable Precinct 3. So,